called out by everybody for the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Homer Simpson, Mike Tyson, Vince McMahon, like everybody's going crazy over this thing.
Curious about how Donald Trump became the billionaire that we all know today? You might know him as the flashy real estate mogul, the reality star, or even the former president. But the story of Trump's fortune goes way deeper than you think. But do you really know how it all began? How Donald Trump actually became the larger-than-life figure we know today. The real story of how Trump built his wealth, navigated his successes, and weathered his failures actually starts well over a century ago. Let's uncover the real story behind Donald Trump's family fortune. Real estate runs deep in the Trump family bloodline. Frederick Trump, Donald's grandfather, was the first to strike it rich. During the famous Klondike Gold Rush in Canada, Frederick owned an inn and restaurant that catered to gold miners. This savvy business move paid off handsomely, and when Frederick passed away, he left an estate worth what would be just under $500,000 in today's dollars to his heirs. The Trump legacy was born, and Frederick's eldest son, Fred Trump, would go on to carry it forward in a big way. Fred Trump didn't just continue the family business, he expanded it exponentially. In the 1920s, Fred used his inheritance as seed money to go into business with his mother. He became a successful builder in New York City's outer boroughs, starting with single-family homes in Queens. Fred wasn't just a builder, he was an innovator. He helped pioneer the supermarket concept with Trump Market during the Great Depression, and during World War II, he built barracks for the Navy. But Fred's real cash cow came in 1949, when he secured a government loan to build a Shore Haven Apartments in Brooklyn. The Federal Housing Administration paid him $10.3 million, but Fred was able to build the apartments for significantly less. This marked the beginning of a lucrative relationship with the government, where Fred kept building housing in Brooklyn and Queens, and the government kept overpaying for these developments. By the time of his death in 1999, Fred Trump was allegedly worth between $250 and $300 million, and according to Donald, his father was one of the biggest landlords in New York's outer boroughs. Born in Queens, Donald Trump joined his father's company early on in his career, but he had a different vision for the Trump name. Donald envisioned the Trump brand as being synonymous with luxury worldwide, and he wasn't content with sticking to the outer boroughs. Using his father's business connections and creditworthiness, Donald made his first foray into Manhattan real estate in the mid-1970s. He borrowed a small sum of $1 million from his father to get started. One of Trump's first major moves was also one of his biggest wins. In 1976, Donald Trump partnered with the Hyatt to buy the rundown Commodore Hotel near Grand Central Station. At the time, the whole neighborhood was in disarray, with many nearby buildings on the verge of foreclosure. Trump, showing his deal-making prowess, negotiated contracts with the banks and the city to fund the hotel and rejuvenate the area. The result was the Grand Hyatt, a 25-story hotel that became a symbol of Trump's ability to turn around ailing properties. When he sold his share of the hotel in 1996, it netted him $142 million, a massive win that helped establish his reputation as a real estate mogul. But Trump didn't stop there. Another significant victory came with his acquisition of 40 Wall Street, once the tallest building in the world. Trump bought the building for just $1 million after it sat vacant for years. Today, 40 Wall Street is prime real estate in the financial district and is worth more than $500 million. These early successes fueled Trump's ambition and solidified his status as a major player in Manhattan real estate. However, Trump's career has also been marked by notable failures. Perhaps his most infamous misstep was his ill-fated venture into casinos in Atlantic City. The trouble began in 1988 when he acquired the Taj Mahal Casino, funded primarily by junk bonds. The massive casino was $3 billion in debt within just a year of opening, with $900 million in personal liabilities. Trump had the business declare bankruptcy to stay afloat, shedding many personal assets in the process, including his airline, a 282-foot mega yacht, and half of his stake in the company. Things were so dire that Trump's father had to step in with a $3.5 million loan in the form of casino chips to help make a debt payment. Despite these efforts, Trump's casino holding company would enter bankruptcy 2 additional times. Once in 2004 after accruing $1.8 billion in debt, and again in 2009 after missing a bond payment during the financial crisis. Each time, Trump's stake in the company diminished. While 3 of Trump's 4 bankruptcies involved Atlantic City casinos, his struggles extended well beyond the gambling industry. Trump's ambition led him to attach his name to a wide array of ventures, many of which turned out to be colossal failures. Trump Airlines, launched in 1989 with the purchase of Eastern Air Shuttle, was meant to be a luxurious commuter airline catering to the Northeastern Corridor. However, the airline struggled under heavy debt and competition, ultimately failing just 3 years later. Then there was Trump Vodka, which debuted in 2006 with the tagline "Success Distilled," aiming to capture the high-end spirits market. Despite the flashy marketing, the vodka didn't sell well and was discontinued in 2011. Trump also dabbled in board games with Trump the Game, a Monopoly-style venture that fizzled out after poor sales. Trump's foray into media wasn't much better. Trump Magazine, intended to be a glossy publication targeting the affluent, lasted only a few issues before folding due to low circulation. Meanwhile, Trump Steaks, sold through the Sharper Image, became the butt of jokes when it failed to find a market. Turns out, people weren't too keen on buying luxury meat through a gadget store. Perhaps the most controversial of all was Trump University, which promised to teach students the secrets of real estate success. Instead, it became the subject of multiple lawsuits, with former students accusing the program of being a scam. The legal battles eventually led to a $25 million settlement, further tarnishing Trump's brand. Not to be left out, Trump Mortgage was launched in 2006, right before the housing market collapsed. The timing couldn't have been worse. And the company quickly imploded as the real estate market crumbled. Despite these high-profile failures, Trump's successes in real estate, especially his Manhattan properties, have kept him afloat. According to Trump's campaign, he is worth in excess of $10 billion. But this figure has been the subject of much debate. Trump has been accused of artificially inflating his net worth, and different sources provide varying estimates. Forbes and Bloomberg News, for example, offer drastically different figures. A middle-of-the-road estimate from Forbes suggests that about 7% of Trump's net worth is in cash and liquid assets such as investments, while 8% is in golf courses and 4% is in his personal toys, including helicopters, a penthouse, and his Boeing 757. The majority of Trump's wealth, however, is tied up in real estate, with Manhattan properties alone making up about half of his total portfolio value. Now that you know the real story behind Trump's wealth, his successes, and his failures, and the help he received along the way, it's clear that his journey has been anything but straightforward. Trump's life has been a mix of high-stakes gambles, massive wins, and painful losses. Whether you see him as a brilliant businessman or simply someone who was in the right place at the right time, there's no denying that Donald Trump has left an indelible mark on American culture and the world of real estate. But the story doesn't end here. To really understand Donald Trump, one must look at how he fared as an investor over the years. Was he a savvy player in the world of finance, or did he just get lucky with a few big deals? The answer to that question might surprise you. And there you have it. The wild ride of how Donald Trump's family fortune was built, brick by brick, deal by deal. From gold rush inns to Manhattan skyscrapers, it's a saga full of twists, turns, and a few surprise bankruptcies along the way. But what do you think? Is Trump a master of the deal or just a lucky gambler who knew when to cash in? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed uncovering the real story behind the Trump riches, don't forget to smash that like button. Want to see more deep dives into the lives of the rich and famous? Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep digging for the real stories.